Okay, so good morning, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the Elets Innovation Talk. As you all know, that this talk series is about innovation in technology, innovations in society, and it's all about innovations. And we get here the leaders, the game changers, and the achievers in the field of innovation. One innovation which we all are sure about and which we all have witnessed, especially in this virtual environment, is the video conferencing, video communications, virtual communications. And the name which is there on everybody's tongue, everybody's mind, everybody's heart is Zoom. We all started with Zoom, we are all are continuing with Zoom, and Zoom is catering, helping, contributing in connecting people to each other in all status of life. And it's a very special day today with us, today for us, that we have the general manager and head of India of Zoom communication, Zoom video communications with us, Mr. Samir Raje. Mr. Samir, I welcome you in this innovation talk of Elets.
Hi, Karthik. Pleasure to meet you and the eTalks team. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, Samir. So today we all think a lot of things about Zoom. We have a lot of questions in our mind: how Zoom works, how Zoom is catering, how Zoom is looking at India's market. So everything is will be questioned now. You can watch it live on www.eletsonline.com, and there you on the screen it is live, and the YouTube link is live. So if you go to YouTube, also you can ask your questions and comments, and then we can answer them also. So to watch it live, just go to our website www.eletsonline.com, and I will start with first question, and this question is to you, Samir, about your personal journey, how you personally look working with Zoom and your journey in the Zoom, please. Yeah.
Well, uh, well, thank you for asking that. I mean, I've been associated with the world of collaboration for around 25 plus years now in India, and my journey in collaboration started with WebEx actually. That time we were WebEx, and we went on to become Cisco, and I continued to work under the Cisco umbrella for some time. And that's where I had met our founder Eric Isuan and quite a lot of other members from the Zoom fraternity today. Uh, it was a fantastic team at that time, and from there on, I moved on to companies like IBM and Microsoft. And my last stint was with West Corporation for almost 6-7 years. And post that, you know, it was always a question when to start off the operations for Zoom in India. And yeah, it was, the question was what was the right time. And with that in mind, we wanted to do the things right for country. And that's when I started off the operation, started working behind the scenes last year, getting things moved. And we were officially born in September 2019 last year in India, and we started forming the team. That's been my journey. I mean, almost all my life I have been in the collaboration world, selling different forms of collaboration, be it video, be it even simplest form of audio conferencing, or the most complex of the HD video collaboration platforms in the available in the market today.
Right. So how different was it to work with Zoom than on all your previous assignments?
Well, it's Zoom is a very unique company. It's unique because of the focus that we have on our employees and the customers, and that's what it was when we were as a team together. Our strength is keeping our employees happy and keeping our customers happy. If you look at even the Glassdoor ratings, we are ranked as number 2 best companies to work across the world. And there is a sense of pride. When you are working in Zoom, you really don't have to tell somebody to do something. That is the beauty of it, because everybody does everything because they want to. Every morning when we come to work, we are so motivated that we know what has to be done. I have not seen, a single person or a single individual to whom I have to send up a follow-up email to, get something done. That's quite surprising in an organization, right? And that's the kind of motivation, that's the kind of drive. Everybody keeps on going, and it's like working for for your own setup probably. That's the kind of motivation, and so it's very different. And we are a very closely knit family. Hence, we all the employees that we hire also we ensure that they are the right fit in the culture, and we set them up for success. We evaluate that first, and that's the strength of Zoom, I would say. And I just love working here. That's the motivation level I have of coming to work every morning.
That's great to hear. Definitely, if the right people are there at right places, you may not need best people, but you need right people to work.
Absolutely.
And so that's really nice of Zoom to have a great culture of work. But I would also like to ask you about your clients. Today, I can see you are catering to everybody, from a student to a professionals like us to media people like us. Even the doctors are using a lot of Zoom to cure their patients. So everywhere, government, corporate, hospitals, education, you are catering to every next person. So how do you look at this India market, and how you are catering to all these audience which are of different nature?
Well, you're right, Karthik, on that front. If you look at pre-pandemic, we were predominantly enterprise grade platform, right? Most of the large organizations or corporates used to use our services. Come pandemic, even individuals and housewives and everybody is using Zoom. So it's become the market has taken certain shift. We, while on one hand we continue to have our enterprise grade customers, the corporate customers. On the other hand, we have a lot of consumers and individuals, and as you mentioned, the tuition teachers and even the healthcare professionals and so on and so forth. So it definitely took some time for us to adopt to this new happening, new normal, which is there today. Address the concerns, address or handhold these people who are coming on board. Because you see, when these people come on board in an enterprise, you have an IT department to look after you, right? If you're an individual or if you're a small organization, you really are not. You don't have anybody to look after your bank, and that's what we
Yes.
did. When we embarked on our security journey of 90 days, that's what we did. We decided that hey, we are going to be the IT team. We are going to be the IT department for these individuals and small time business people. We want
Yes.
to ensure that we give them all the security and the ways of using Zoom. So we started off two things. We embarked on a journey of coaching and guiding and training our users. We conduct a lot of these training sessions with our teachers for education sectors and healthcare professionals and so on and so forth. These sessions are live as well as in archive format and recordings available. And the second thing is on the security front. What we've done is we have mandated certain security protocols, which were there before in the platform, but now we've mandated. Like for example, now if you're using Zoom, you have to set a password for a meeting. You have, or probably you need to have a waiting room. So we have a security tab when you're a host, so you can check anybody out or report a user. Those. So what we've done is we've taken the responsibility on ourselves that hey, these are the new kind of users. They need us. They need to use our services to collaborate in this new normal, and we are going to protect them. So that's what we did, and that's how we are catering to the these kind of people, or the new kind of customer segment.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the security features. So there have been concerns to people about the security and privacy, especially using Zoom. There were some speculations also. So I would like to ask you that please throw some light on how secure Zoom is and how everybody's privacy is secure using Zoom. Please
Sure.
explain
I
in
mean,
more details.
Sure. I mean, there are three aspects to this, if I may say that. The first aspect is, we need to understand that when any company grows at this pace, or nobody had realized that, the pandemic will happen and suddenly the entire world will become virtual. So that's the first thing. And when we grow at such a pace, obviously there might be some mistakes, and no software or no application is a bug-free application. Uh, yes, there were some mistakes on our side, but more than the mistakes from our side, there were rumors, there were misinformation, and also the second thing was there was the kind of users that we had. There was we had to guide them in terms of how to use it. For example, I mean, if you're joining any virtual platform for a meeting, you cannot share those details on a social media platform, right? You need to be secure. You don't go leave your house and announce it to the world that hey, I'm going out of the house and my house is unlocked and I got $1 million lying over there, right? So it's something on those lines. So we started coaching them. The mistakes on our part, unlike any other organization, we came to the front and we accepted, we acknowledged some of the mistakes that were done on our part, and we went on a plan to fix that. The 90-day plan. We invited chief security officers from 30 different companies of different verticals, and we worked with them to ensure that whatever if there are any issues that need to be fixed, we invited people from outside to check our platform, certify everything is right. The final component is also a lot of rumors and issues. Like the first and foremost is the privacy concern. I mean, you need to understand that Zoom is a collaboration platform. We are not a database company, or we are not a company which stores any information. The only information that we have is your username, and if you are a paid customer, then we have your invoice details, and not only if you share your contact details, then we have those contact details. Apart from that, we don't have any information from you. We don't take any information. So that's point number one. Point number two is if all the meeting information, like unless you choose to record the meeting, that's when it gets stored. You may choose to store it on our servers, or you may choose to store it on your machine. If you're storing it on your machine, well, we don't have any access to it anyways. If you're choosing it on our servers, it is in a secured cloud, and it is on a secure data center. There are certain protocols every company needs to follow, and that's what it is. As far as other features are concerned, we have 19 data centers across the world, two of which are in India. One is Mumbai, another is in Hyderabad. There was some misinformation about we sharing data with not so friendly country of ours. We need to understand that, like a telecom company, like any other company, we need to have a node out there in that country to help the people or the multinationals who have offices in that country to have their participants join Zoom. What we have is, in fact, if when we heard about this negativity, we brought in a feature where you can actually go ahead and select the data center that you want to use to route your data. We are the first ones to do that, right? So if you click on the information icon on the left-hand side, top of your screen, you get to know that which data center you're connected to. You don't want to get connected to a particular data center in a particular country, please deselect that, go into the admin settings and do that. So, we went up to that extent. None of these data centers store anything. This is all switched architecture. And we don't share any information. We don't have access to any information. First and foremost, we don't take any information from you. So there were a lot of rumors around, but yeah, and all these privacy rules, regulations, everything are absolutely documented on our website. It's out there in the open. And finally, I mean, if you choose to delete your account, it gets deleted in entirety. That also is captured. Even if you're a free user, unless you've given a consent for marketing, we don't even contact you. We don't even reach you. So that's the kind of privacy and security that we have on our platform.
Oh, that's really great to hear that. I would also like to ask you that there have been rumors, you can say, that there has been some advisory from government of India of not using Zoom. So can you tell me about this? What is government's version? Are they really giving this advisory to not use Zoom or something like that?
Well, to be honest with you, Karthik, it is, you know, I don't know how to say that, but it's a fact that there are two things. First is the CERT or the certain CERT in India is the actual regulatory or a governing body which talks about any bugs or any issues being reported on any of the platforms. It could be any software. If you go to the certain website, there are multiple advisories for all the companies. Whatever you can think of, any software which is there in the world, all the advisories about any bugs or any nuances which are reported. The certain has been doing this for Zoom since last 2 years. This is nothing new. And none of the certain advisories which were released ever said that Zoom is unsafe to be used. That is point number one. However, there were some market rumors and so on and so forth, based on which probably there is another regulatory body, which is under the Ministry of Home Affairs, SICOD. They released an advisory stating that be cautious while using Zoom. Well, these was based on two CERT advisories, and however, those two reference CERT advisories do not say that Zoom is unsafe to be used. So it's kind of gray area there. But what we did is, like in any country, we collaborate with the government. We reached out to the government officials. We shared the technical aspects of our platform in terms of the security, in terms of privacy of our users, and how we, in terms of what data do we have, what storage happens, and how the data flows. As a result of which, if you see, Certain has released a new advisory dated May 29th, which talks about Zoom 5.0 and enhanced versions, and talks about the enhanced security and all of the features of Zoom platform. Not only that, but one of the most welcome announcements, I would say, was on the 16th of September, when a similar response was documented by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in the current parliamentary session in the Lok Sabha, where they have said that, there is no uh, intention of banning Zoom for security reasons or anything. Zoom is okay to be used. So,
Okay.
there is absolutely no ban on Zoom or something. There's a lot of market noise around it. And in fact,
So
if you
the,
reach out to Sycord on your own, if you drop a note, yeah, some of our customers did drop a note, and they were treated with a positive response that, yeah, you can follow the certain advisory which says Zoom is safe to be used.
yeah, so even we as a IT journalist, we keep on getting emails and advisories from government about various things. So I think the Zoom one and every other app, they keep on giving advices. I think it was similar like that. And even as a communicator, I also discuss the same thing with people. So thank you for throwing light on this and clearing the confusions in the minds of people. So I would also like to ask you that. What is your strategy for India market? And what has been the progress with Technology Center in Bangalore? I think you have a Technology Center in Bangalore. So what is the progress there, and how are you catering to India market? If you can tell me in details, please.
Well, Karthik, I'm going to let you out a little bit of secret. Well, when we started off in last year, it used to take some amount of effort on my end to convince the leadership on the potential India market has and all the good things about India and so on and so forth. Being an American company, it was always difficult to convince the HQ, because always other markets like maybe the European markets and maybe a rest of APAC like Singapore and Australia always used to take more importance than India. However, in the last 6-8 months, what has happened is this tables have turned. Tables have turned to such an extent that India has become one of the largest markets for us, and my life has become so much easier. I don't have to convince the HQ. Well, they try to convince me now that let's do this and let's do that. So that's my secret for you. But coming to the fact, what is the fact is that we have huge plans for India. There are two things. First is we want to be as much local as possible, right? Because of two reasons. First is while we are growing, while we are an American organization, in every country that we operate, we want to ensure that we not only comply with the local rules and regulations and guidelines, but also create opportunities in the market for people. And that's what we've been doing. Opportunities in terms of hiring, opportunities in terms of letting other businesses thrive. That's what we've been doing in India. So currently we are hiring massive. The team size is going to grow massive in terms of sales supports, and rest of the functions, marketing and channel sales, and so on and so forth. As far as the tech center is concerned, again, there has been a massive movement on that after we announced it. Hiring is big time. We have hired few people already. A few more are scheduled to come in. Again, it takes some time to get the right kind of people, as I told you, right? It took us some time to get the right kind of recruiters on board. So that's where we started off. Now we are hiring again, and that's the progress so far. However, unfortunately, we don't intend to head back to office or be physically in office at least till our financial year end, which ends in January. So that means we cannot really, start looking for infrastructure space and all, but that will happen come in the next year when situation normalizes a little bit. In fact, we are so stringent that if I have to venture out right now to meet anybody, I would need a permission from the HR to go out. So that's the we try to protect our employees. So probably come next year, that will be the time when we head into the offices and start our office infrastructure over there. But that's the progress right now.
Okay. So when are you planning to go to office? Like after this virtual environment or any plans?
Well, I think we'll have to take a call post we end our financial year. That is the January of next year. So February 2021, we'll take a call whether we want to head back to offices, or how the situation is in each of the countries, and then think about it.
Right. So I would like to also ask you, because we also work closely with the healthcare vertical, the healthcare professionals, the stakeholders. So the telemedicine has also increased quite a lot. So even I see doctors using Zoom for uh, catering to their clients, the patients. Sorry. So how do you see yourself in this healthcare vertical? Zoom's role in this.
Well, fantastic question, Karthik. And this goes back into my previous answer. This story goes back into that, which we spoke about creating that local environment, and that's what we are doing. Telemedicine is an extremely important and a critical aspect for us. Not only doctors are using it, but what we are promoting is those individuals, those entrepreneurs, and those business houses who are creating those applications for telemedicine, right? So they are specializing in their creating their own platform, which is going to help the doctors or help the patients or set up that kind of a model where they have their agents going to remote towns, etc. So they are developing their platform. Where we come into picture is we help them embed Zoom into that platform with our open APIs and SDKs, so thereby allowing the collaboration strength or the video meeting strength into their platform. And that's what we are doing. So we find a big play in telemedicine, and we are also finding a big play from those entrepreneurs and the business houses who are looking to get into this space. And I think we will continue to help them, because not only is it that area is of big focus for us, because we want to help the healthcare professionals, but also it brings in the local aspect, where we are creating more avenues for the local businesses to thrive using our platform.
Right. And also, I would like to ask you about education. Currently, education has seen a big transformation, a big shift. All the classes are online, everything. Even in our neighborhood, also, children use Zoom. Their teachers teach them on Zoom. So, how do you see this education vertical now? Do you see, are you bullish about it, or you still need to come well? And because there are already online players, there are online classes players. How do you see Zoom's position in that sector, education sector?
Well, education again has been the primary sector for us. If you look at it, we were the first ones to reach out to this sector, especially the K to 12 schools, and ensure that we help them during this pandemic session. So when the pandemic set in, we removed the 40-minute cap for the K to 12 schools across the world, and today more than 100,000 schools across 20 plus countries are using our platform. Of this, 2,400 plus schools are in India, right? And they're using our platform at no cost. So that's point number one. Uh, Other schools or other higher education or this thing, I think when the pandemic goes down, or even, I mean, I would say any parent would be happy to get the kids out of the houses right now and get their heads out of the iPad and digital devices. I think that is definitely going to come in, but what will happen is the hybrid model is going to stay, because a lot of these educational institutes, even the schools, and the private tuitions and private education institutions, they have started exploring the online training and the online coaching, online certification kind of programs, which is probably a new revenue stream for them. They realized that doing that is more profitable than having children travel in traffic for 1 hour from their homes to the coaching institute, right? So I think that is coming up big time, and the education sector is quite fired up right now, as I would say.
Right. And one more sector I would like to ask you about, because our audience is there in that sector also largely. It is the banking and finance sector. I know there's it's not like education and healthcare, but any specific plan for this sector, or how do you look at it?
So again, banking and financial sector has moved to a lot of virtual work from home kind of a scenario, and are also like for example, your insurance, or for your matter account opening, etc. That's become a lot more virtual than somebody, a sales rep or your personal banker coming to your place and doing stuff. I think that's becoming more and more virtual now, where your personal banker is available to you at a touch of a button through a video call or through your app. Uh, Even if you have to open an account, and your KYC and all today happens on the video, compared to somebody coming to your house and ringing the bell. So I think that's catching up, and yeah, we are not very far away in BFSI either. We are catering to a lot of our BFSI customers.
That's right. I will also like to ask you that what are your future plans? What are you coming up with something new for in future? Can you give us some more details about your future plans, especially for India market?
Well, there are lots and lots of development, right? We continue to hear from our customers, and that's what we do. And we continue to build on our product. We build on our strategy based on the customer feedback. Uh, you might have heard about getting a burnout out of the virtual meetings, attending too many Zoom meetings. My request to my CEO and the product team is that put a next meeting, a next button on my meeting tab, because every time I end a meeting I have to get into another one, right? So it is something like that. So we have brought in a new feature where we are trying to make the meetings less stressful by bringing in filters and video filters like ears and mustaches and whatever you want to do, like a little bit of easiness. But I mean, that's just a one of the features. But long story short, I would say that please join the Zoomtopia on in the month of October. I would invite you and any of the members who are listening to join the Zoomtopia and hear lots and lots and tons of features which will get announced in the Zoomtopia. We do that every year. This is for our customers and partners. Do register and please come and join us.
Oh, that's great. We will definitely love to join there. I will also like to ask you that India is a country of villages still, and Zoom has penetrated to villages also. I can see even in the village people are using Zoom. So, and in village there is a issue of connectivity or still there. Internet connectivity is one of the issues. So, how do you see Zoom is friendly of low connectivity also, or how do you see the people at the last mile in the villages can also use Zoom? What is your strategy for that?
Well, that's our strength, and as our customers say that it just works, right? The corporate customers gave us this tagline that it just works. When you click on a Zoom URL, it just works, and we didn't define this. I mean, it just works, and same is for the whatever tier three, tier four remote villages. The strength of our platform is that it's able to sustain itself at low bandwidths, fluctuations, and huge packet loss as well. So that is the reason, one of the reasons. I mean, ease of use is of course the first one, because even a senior member or even a non-tech savvy person can start using Zoom without coaching and guidance. But had the product not been so successful, or had the product not been working at low bandwidth, I think people wouldn't have adapted it. That's the strength. That's one of the core strengths of our platform, and I'm so grateful for the fantastic product development team that we have, that they think about all this and bring all these features. So Zoom was developed primarily based on video first communication, and when we built that platform, we we thought about low bandwidth, we thought about fluctuations, and that's the reason why we are so successful and the product is so strong.
That's nice. And one question comes in my mind. I don't know it is an important question or not, but do you think vernacular languages also play an important role, or do you see in different states in India different languages also to be used in Zoom, or any plans like that, or it's not very important right now?
I think we are a country probably where we follow two languages, English and Hindi, to a very great extent. Vernacular languages, yes. To be honest, I've been thinking about it, but the question is, it's not one language or two language. When we do it in India, it's a huge number of languages that we need to cater to. And obviously, we wouldn't want to bring in one language, like let's say bring in Marathi and then not do Kannada, or bring Kannada and not do Punjabi. If we bring in Indian languages, we want to focus on all of the languages. So I can't promise anything. I can't say anything on that one at this stage. But it's a very good question, and which has been on the top of my mind. But uh, I don't know. I don't have an answer for it right now.
I understand, but I think irrespective of language, Zoom is so technically also easy at the times that language becomes, it doesn't become much of the barrier. But yes,
Absolutely.
it can be there in future. We look forward, and as a normal user, we look for every user, especially the young strata of people. They like regular updations on an app, and if you keep updating, so Do you think that you look at it that you keep on doing something, as you said that you adding some filters and all that? So do you have it in mind always that you keep on updating some things, or you do some analysis of people's is there any mechanism that you do analysis of people's feedback or something like that goes
Oh,
on with
of
you?
course. Not only feedback, but as I said, we hear our customers. We have very special sessions with some of our customers where our product team, our senior leadership interact with them. Like we had with the CISOs, we do it with a lot of IT folks, the end users, in terms of what do they want, what would they want to see next happening in Zoom, how can we improve our platform. So it's not that we do what we feel is right, but of course that is one component of it, but a lot of it comes from what our customers really want, and that's again one of our key strengths.
That's right. So here, I think I have asked some of the important questions which came in my mind. I would like to ask you that: do you have anything else to share with us, which I might have skipped? If you would like to, Samir.
No, Karthik, I think you covered most of it, but I would like to you know I just address the education sector out there. All the teachers, you're doing a fantastic job. Healthcare professionals, you are doing a great job. We are here to help you out. If you need any help, please reach out to us. There are a lot of training sessions. There are a lot of recorded sessions, live sessions, which are there on our blog. Please try to visit that. Please read through it if you don't have the time to attend it. This talks about the general security aspects. This talks about the do's and don'ts and how you can safeguard. We got those tiny little minds on coming on our platform, and we need to protect them. And the responsibility, of course, is a lot with you because you are running the classrooms. And just one advice, that a virtual classroom on Zoom is no different than your physical classroom. So if you don't let anybody come into your classroom without permission, you can do that in Zoom as well. So a lot of features, user analysis and reporting, etc. is available. Please go through the website. Please keep yourself informed and reach out to us if you need any kind of help. We are there to help you out through any thing. So you're doing a fantastic job, education and healthcare sector, and we would love to help you, continue to help you as much as we can. That's the
That's
only
right.
message.
That's right. This is a message, and if you can tell us and all the audience about the event which we're talking about again, uh, what are the dates, and so that people can join in.
Well, sure. The Zoomtopia is scheduled for the 15th and 16th of October. Please do register yourself and join in. I would be the happiest person if we have a large audience from India, and we'll try to bring in a lot of Indian speakers also if possible. But you can get to hear a lot of things about new products, new features coming into the Zoom platform, and some new key announcements.
Great. So here we spoke to Mr. Sameer Raje, who is the General Manager and Head of India of Zoom Video Communications. I am Karthik Sharma. I head the governance and healthcare vertical in Elets Technomedia, and it was wonderful talking to Mr. Sameer. And I think we'll be keep talking to him with new things when Zoom comes up with, and I think it will be fruitful for all of you. This one interview is actually for all the stratas of our audience, from youth to the old age, and from a professional to a student. Everybody must be enjoying it, I think. And thank you, Mr. Sameer, for this wonderful discussion. And here we close this, and we'll see you with some another innovator, another game changer, another leader of technology and innovations. Here we wrap up the Elets Innovation Talk. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sameer.
Thank you, Karthik, and thank you, entire Elets team. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.